I talk about the spirit of misery a lot, so let's discuss exactly what it is. The spirit of misery isn't about being sad at all. Actually, it's a bit more manipulative than that. Spirit of misery is a seductive parasitic spirit that feeds off of hopelessness and self-sabotage. It normalizes suffering and it convinces people that their pain is supposed to happen because they are who they are. And you often see this in groups. You can see this in gender groups. You can see this in racial groups. You can even see this on a particular person, especially a person who comes from particular backgrounds with generational curses attached to it. The spirit of misery works through scarcity. So you have to have a very scarce mindset. And most people who have scarce mindsets, they're scarce in their everyday actual life as well. Because as it is in the natural, it is in the spirit. Now, the spirit of misery can't sit alone. The spirit of misery cannot be by itself. If so, it will have to listen to itself. It'll listen to all the pain. It'll listen to all the trauma. The spirit of misery is low key schizophrenic. And there are quite a few spirits who walk hand in hand with it. The spirit of misery is essentially rooted in rejection. The spirit of rejection tells a person that you are to expect abandonment. Therefore, a person who operates through the spirit of misery is going to always attract abandonment. Again, as it is in the natural, it is in the spirit. Being that the spirit of misery is rooted in rejection, it has to walk hand in hand in fear because fear is rooted in rejection as well. A person who's like dealing with the spirit of misery in this what if mindset. What if, but it could be like this, or it could happen to you because it happened to me. The spirit of misery hates joy. It hates joy. It hates peace. It hates to be around anybody who attained anything happy and joyful without struggle. It even hates it if it's coming from a person who did attain it through struggle because that means that that person healed. And the spirit of misery dwells on chaos, not healing. Spirit of misery causes the person to trauma bond. They tend to overshare their pain. They tend to overshare their trauma. You could be in a conversation with a person and it has nothing to do with them, but they have to make it about them because they feel more empowered when they're speaking about their pain. The spirit of misery needs validation. So normally what it does is it roams around and it looks for people again who has similar trauma stories. And even if that person doesn't have a similar trauma story, the spirit of misery will convince a person that what that other person went through has happened to them as well or is going to happen to them. So therefore, they're going through it too. That's called vicarious victimhood. And if you don't believe anything that I'm saying, just watch this video.
Any self defined black woman that's still rooting for black men, you just haven't hit rock bottom yet. You haven't been hurt enough to look in the mirror and say, I deserve to be protected. I deserve to have the best in life. You just haven't reached rock bottom yet. I pray it never happens to you, but when it does, I hope God is with you because it definitely is going to be a black man standing next to you. I promise you that, respectfully.
Without yet, the spirit of misery has absolutely no hope whatsoever. The spirit of misery needs to know that there is a possible yet, meaning if I went through it, you're going to go through it. Why? Because you are who you are.